Hello and welcome to another modelling video. This is Alan from the Man at YouTube with another event review. We've just come back from Model Expo, a very large show. The event occurred during the 9th to 11th of June, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, a long weekend public holiday at the Sandown Park Exhibition. Model Expo is run by the Model Expo Committee, which is sat by various hobby clubs, including the IPMS and all the other noticeable Australian ones located in the sponsors page of the website. All forwarding information will be linked down below in the description section. Expo is the largest scale modelling event in Australia with a large selection of very open-ended categories covering three age groups of juniors, intermediates and everything above around the age of adulthood. The subjects are quite broad, including military, armour, aircraft, civil, science fiction, Gundam, and it just breaks down further to time periods, scales, and the fact that if they've been modified out of the box or only anything goes. This leads to many hundreds of models being on display on the table, as well as the clubs across Australia being invited to set up tables and throw themes where everyone builds something quite similar and put quite a lavish display and signs and whatnot to just a few members showing off their wares. On the Monday, there is a separate room called the Swap and Sell where locals who have way too many kits that wish to part off. Many of my viewers would be more associated with conventions, cons, anime gigs, open pop culture conventions. Model Expo's quite different, where you have a healthy mix of retail outlets which start across the outer edges of the hall. My store, the Salt Mine Hobby Shop, was in attendance, and that's where I spent the majority of the event. The inner part of the entire event is all the club displays and categories. When you rock up on the Friday night, Saturday morning, you line up and fill out documents with all the models you bring along. You pay a small fee, they decide what category it goes into, and you display it on the table. One of the days, the judges go from table to table judging it, giving it a score and ranking it the top best few, which will receive a reward or prize. This further on goes to data collection and deciding which is the best model of the event and various categories through the acquirement of these points and collected into a database. The general public has the opportunity to buy for a ticket to come in, and for the Saturday, Sunday, Monday walk around and look at all the various models in the competition, see which one's placed, as well as the club displays and talk to the clubs about modelling topics and all that sort of thing. The outer edge, you buy models from various shops across Australia, tools or very specialist items. The event is very social, where you take photos of the models, gather in groups and talk about your interest and catch up with people that you see online or around the industry in general. It's a great way to catch up with hobby friends that may have to travel. The event was run quite well. The judging was fair as balanced as far as I could see. I walked around, and with this video at the end of Sunday, I've taken photos of a few select models that I've really liked. In the description down below, I'll put the gallery for said models. There were far more than that, including figures, cars and whatnot. Having a Google search around, you may find a comprehensive collection of all the models on display. I have seen it on the Facebook group Model Art Australia. I thoroughly enjoyed myself. It was a great way to catch up with a few people I haven't seen for a while, have a little bit of a chat here and there, build up connections for the business I'm building up, but most importantly, just seeing a lot of models and just talking shop and models with new people, meeting up people who are fans of the channel that I've never met before, and just catching. Other aspects of the event, there was a small gathering space with a basic PA system doing demonstrations where various people can volunteer to show modelling methods with a screen and a camera, demonstrating all sorts of methods, products, styles, and talking about their methods of building or their subject matter of modelling. On the other end of the hall, there was also some table space where people could build, and a session called Make and Take where models were provided and young kids or people very new to the hobby could snap something very basic together and take it home. I was very glad to see that there was just short of 100 people or tables around that were various traders, and the diversification of tools and kits on display was fantastic. There was almost a subject for everyone to purchase something. In my and our collective interests, the gunpla category was divided. We had out of the box, where just building it as is, decaling it, painting it, weathering it as you please was in one section. Quite a few models there. And the modified or open category, very few models. That's the two where I've entered, where you can go all out with dioramas, modifications, aftermarket parts. There was also a science fiction diorama category where you had multiple Gundams on there, but that hosted any sorts of science fiction diorama and other subjects, as well as a couple of sci-fi categories and figure categories where you had monsters, ships, Star Wars, all that sort of thing. One of the major clubs also had a Star Wars display. That pretty much wraps everything up. Over the years, we're seeing a very good representation of science fiction, anime style of modelling with the military crowd, the wargaming crowd. It's just a very nice balance of all styles, including the stranger, wood ships and card modelers. Everyone is very well accepted, and in the middle of the hall we even had a wargaming table. Thank you very much for watching. As always, until next time, stay tuned for further content. We post once or twice a week, a lot of interesting resources in the description section, and stay tuned to see the review for next year. See you later.